Still hear Colin, is that correct? Just want to make sure. I turned the speaker
I guess
down.
it sounds good then.
Sure that he's still coming in. Yes. Okay. Great.
All right, I got the recording going, so whenever we want to jump on this bad puppy.
This bad puppy.
This
Okay,
bad
guys.
puppy.
All right. Well, let's
Yes,
get
Catherine,
going here.
this will be recorded, and I'll be sending out to everyone tomorrow.
Within 24 hours. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's get started then. Let's do this. This is Extreme Makeover, the website edition, brought to you by Colin Martin and myself, Mark Bullard. Sorry, we don't have any sexy photos for you this time, but I'm sure if you Google us, you'll find something. But don't do that now because you're going to miss out on some great content. So before we get into that content, let's talk about who we are. Colin, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Colin, and you guys might know me as the copywriting maestro of the Stealth Persuasion Workshops, and I'm also Tom Antion's marketing manager at Antion & Associates. Been there for 5 years, and I am the head instructor at the Internet Marketing Training Center of Virginia, which makes me completely unqualified to talk to you about websites tonight. Mark, how about you? Where are you from?
I also work at the Internet Marketing Training Center. I have a background in video production and video editing before I ever got into this online business thing, I guess you could call it. Working with Colin, partnering with Colin doing this. So if you have technical questions, I would probably be the person you want to talk to. And if you have any other social networking or copywriting questions, it would be Colin. So you kind of have the best of both worlds. He's a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. Well, actually, he's a little bit rock and roll. I'm a little bit techno, I guess you could say. So anyway, let's
I'm a little country, you're a little western. You know, big variety there, huh?
West Virginia style?
Yeah, first off, I want to thank everyone who's out here. I see Carol and Jim and Catherine and Katie and Revel and Kathy, and there's a ton of people piling in here tonight. I just want to thank everybody for spending their hard-earned time. I say hard-earned because, you know, we earn this free time after working all day, and I'm glad you're spending it with us. That means that you're serious about your website and fixing it, and that's what we're here to do. So I just appreciate you being with us, because you could have spent it somewhere else, but you decided to take your business seriously and spend some time with us. So let's get going on this, Mark.
Yep, good call, Colin. So let's not waste any more of your time and get into the good stuff. Oh, sorry. I got to do one thing first. Before we get started, I do want to have a quick poll. I want to see where you guys are at, and it's kind of a little bit of a test to see if we've actually helped you. So I'm going to put a poll up on the screen right now, and I would like you guys to please answer this quick question. Are you happy with the amount of visitors to your website? And the options are yes, no, or I could always use more. So, wow, okay, so I'm looking at the numbers piling in. We're just going to let this go for a couple seconds, and I'm seeing a lot of no's, and I'm seeing a lot of I could always use more. And as we kind of expected, this might have been a little bit of a loaded question, but as we expected, no yeses yet. Everybody could always use more, at least, and I also see a good amount of no's. So we're going to give it about another 5 or so seconds. So please just quickly answer in the poll window. Are you happy with the amount of visitors to your site? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get those answers in. I'm going to close the poll now. And thank you for all those that even answered in the question box. That's perfect. And so why don't we take a look at some results here. Here's what you guys said. About 71% of you said no, and 29% of you could always use more. I think we all could. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to show you some things that, not every, but a lot of websites either don't have or do wrong, and that can really affect the amount of visitors coming to their sites. So, and, you know, we're all guilty of it. Even Colin and myself, we make a couple of these boo-boos, but we know how to fix them. So don't feel bad. We're trying to help you. We're not here to laugh or make fun of you, okay? So let's get going here. Keywords. Let's talk about keywords. Sometimes we've talked to people and they're a little confused about what keywords are, so we're going to try to explain it to you. Keywords are very important on your website. And basically what you want to think about when it comes to keywords is when someone is searching for information on the web, they will usually visit a search engine and type in some words describing what they're looking for. The search engine then checks its database and returns the results listing pages that meet those words. So I love actually the creativity of a lot of the people that we've worked with, and they seem to be very creative in coming up with words or terms that, although they sound really cool branded, they will never be searched for by anybody until the brand gets really well known. So that is where the problem lies. A lot of people want to really brand and use great wow words and stuff, but really you got to kind of get basic with the keywords and think of what other people are going to be typing into the search engines to possibly maybe find your site. Okay. And Colin, I think you're chomping at the bit. You want to get in on this? What keywords?
Yeah, I do, of course, but real quick, the poll is still showing up on my screen, so I was wondering if everyone's
Sorry about that. There we go. Sorry.
There we go.
Thank
cool.
You, Colin. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Yes, keywords. Mark just covered it a little bit. People love the brand and use insider jargon and these kind of cool, catchy phrases and things and taglines and all these things that are really cool that their business. They spend a lot of time being creative with them, but no one is searching for those phrases. And you have to understand exactly what your target market is putting in search engines that will lead them to your website. And those keywords, once you understand that, they need to be in certain areas where the search engines look. The search engines are made up of these bots called spiders, and they have a certain routine when they hit a website of places that they look, because they have to index and search billions of web pages very quickly. Have you ever seen the results? It says 13 billion results in 1.2 seconds. It's like, how in the world did they do that? Well, they have to consolidate how they search. And there are certain places where they search first and where they stand out to make it easier on those bots. And we're going to show you tonight exactly what kind of keywords you should be using and where to put them on your website.
Yeah, so let's get a little bit more in depth about keywords. These words used by people searching can be called keywords or search terms. Both of those phrases go, flip-flop, they go hand in hand. If you have done a search using the search engines, which I think we all have, you will know that a single word will generate results that are very broad and frequently irrelevant. So to fine-tune your search, you need to use a number of words or even a phrase. And this often gives you a more relevant search result. So what they're saying is most people don't just search by one word. They get more specific, or they even ask questions or put it in a sentence. And so you want to try to key in on that. What kind of phrases are your potential customers typing into search engines that will maybe snag your site? Colin, you want to throw in anything on this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess people are probably rolling around in their head right now saying, well, what phrases are there that people search for? And obviously, there's keyword suggestion tools out there, and we can recommend a couple of them to you. And we will show you how to access some of that keyword research tonight. But basically, your keywords are whatever you do in your business. If you're a life coach, then life coaching is one of your big keywords. But that's not the only one you should be concentrating on. You can put that into what's called a keyword suggestion tool and get other phrases that are related to that. And those are the important ones that to spread out through your site to help get a lot more traffic. So keywords aren't complicated. A lot of people can't wrap their head around them at first, but actually they're quite easy to think about. This is a simple way, Mark, to do it, is think about your target market and the people you're trying to reach with your information, and just think about what would they type in a search box. It can be questions, it can be any phrase, but what do you think your target market would type in a search box or a search phrase? You have to kind of get into the shoes and into the mind of your target market, and it becomes a lot easier at that point. And you can go ahead and wipe your brow and go, oh, okay, well, actually, I know a few things that people would search for that I hope that they would find my website. Those are your phrases. And that's not hard to wrap your head around. What we're going to get into tonight is where on the website these phrases should be, because you can make a beautiful website that's really pretty and it's not getting any traffic because there's not any search phrases on it or keywords, nor are they in the right places. And every time we look at a site, Mark, I mean, there's always just room for improvement on this. So we can't wait to show you some of these tricks here tonight.
Yep. Now let's get just one more cover a page about keywords. Why are they important? Well, Colin already pretty much explained it. But keywords are important as they can be used successfully in conjunction with the search engines to provide you with a free source of targeted traffic. Okay, that's important. Free is always good, and targeted traffic to your website. They enable people who need your product, service, or information to find you. Appropriate keywords are like a telephone number for your business, and the search engine is like the telephone book. It lists your name and number. Colin said a lot of good points, but he said, yes, you don't just come up with one keyword. You want to come up with multiple keywords. And some of them are going to be a little bit more powerful, and what I mean by that is more people might be looking for one term more than another, but it doesn't hurt to have both. And yes, Colin said, like he said, you need to put these in your website, and really try to imagine if somebody never heard of you, doesn't know anything about your business, but they need your help. What would they, what would they be typing into a search engine? So let's keep going here. You want to list these words and phrases as they will form the basis for optimizing your web pages. And the more specific the keywords, the better. Single word keywords will have a lot more competition for top-ranking search results than phrases. But phrases will actually grab a good amount of people, is what I think. And the second point here, the more specific your keywords, the better. Well, I like to have a mix. I like to have a broad, generalized category, I guess, a broad keyword that might cover a whole lot of different sections or different factions, and then also get some more specific ones just to cover my bases. Colin, what do you think?
Absolutely. You just said that the search results or the search phrases do grab a lot of people. That's absolutely right. And they grab more than typical single word phrases. The word here you're using, the optimized word here, is competition. The thing is that most people are overusing the single words or the main keywords on their websites and just being lost in a pool of competition, whereas those long phrases and questions and things that you can put into your content will attract you to the search results quicker. And there's a lot of people typing in there. Most people don't type in something like life coaching. They really don't, unless they're planning on being a life coach. Most people type in things like this. How do I get through my divorce? How do I get my kids off drugs? How do I be happy? How do I get a raise at work? These are things that people type in Google search that a life coach can help with. So those are the phrases that you need to identify your target market as asking and put them on your website so you can attract those people there. So these phrases grab a lot of people, Mark. You're right about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to be honest with you, with Colin's example of life coach, before I ever started working with clients that were life coaches, I've never heard of the term, but I would absolutely type in something along the lines of how do I, how can I be more happy, or something along those lines. So think like that, and like Colin said, get into their head. Why don't we talk about placement? This is talking about placement on your website. Where can we put keywords? And we will point each one of these out, but eventually. But you can put them in the title bars. You can put them in the image files. H1 tags. H1 is a heading tag. Blog posts and pages, and anchor text. And we will show you examples of all of these if you're not sure. And there's special ways to do all of these. This is where you can put keywords, and you really should. Colin?
Okay, absolutely right. These are sneaky places that, well, some of these are actually quite common knowledge these days. You could just almost Google this information and a lot of it, but making sure that it's optimized there's a lot to that. And there's places on your site that you just never know quite exactly where or when you should put your keywords. And they get a little confusing, but these right here, the image files, is one thing that's kind of a secret among us internet marketing teachers here, is that the image files in the source code, there are keywords that the search engines can see that your customers don't necessarily see. So it's not, there's places to put that aren't obvious to everyone, that are underutilized. And we're going to show you exactly how to do some of these little secret tricks. Obviously putting keywords and heading tags, that's a little bit more common knowledge for a lot of people. But some of this stuff, I mean, if you really want to get more traffic and you know the level of competition out there, you're going to have to start utilizing some of this stuff that very few people know about. We're going to show you some sneaky little places to put them that the search engines actually love. So it's not going to do anything to harm your site.
Yeah, it's not going to harm your site. And please, if don't let these terms, if you've never heard them, or if you heard Colin say source code, please don't let that scare you. It's going to be fun, and it's all going to make sense, and it's actually very simple to do. And like Colin said, yeah, we are going to show you some examples coming up. But there's another thing that you need to do, and this is not just with keywords, but you need certain design elements. And I don't mean design as in nice graphics, which of course those are great, but nice graphics don't get the search engines to find you. Nice graphics make your site look nice, so it's still a bonus. But anyway, this is more along the lines of simple navigation, so people can get through your site easily. Prominent opt-in forms where you can find them and you can get people to sign up and get an email list that can be potential customers in the future. Contact information, if there's a problem with the site, just how they can contact you. Copyright information, that's a very easy thing to do, but it's a design element that if it goes left unnoticed, it can hurt you. Videos, we'll talk about why you should have some of those. And a personalized approach, and that's a biggie that we will get into throughout the night. Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, this is absolutely critical information. The way that people, the experience that they have when they get to your website, whether they're able to get around, whether it's aesthetically pleasing, whether it's got the right information that makes people feel good, these are the real elements that when somebody finally gets to your site using the keywords that we just talked about, there's a whole other element of what happens when they finally get there. Okay, have you ever looked at your analytics and seen, oh, I've gotten 800 people or 1,000 people this month to my site? There's analytics, in your hosting programs, and Google can tell you that kind of information, but you realize, oh, 1,000 people, wow, but nothing happened. Nobody bought anything. No one signed up for anything. This is the usability part. So you've attracted all these people, finally, to your site, and then nothing's happening. So it's really two elements here that are very important. And Mark and I can look at a site in just a few minutes, look at the different things as just like we're consumers and we're just lay people going right in, and we can see instantly kind of a usability, whether it feels confusing, whether there's too many links and too much information, or you get lost. These are simple things that all these visitors feel when they get to your site. So the experience people have is the whole other key here to creating a profitable website. Now, we're going to have an offer at the end of all this information that can really help clear a lot of this up, any questions that you have. And we're going to have a big Q&A, so if you have any questions about any of this stuff, save it to the end, and we're going to have a live Q&A so that we can answer all your questions about this live in person. We're going to stay until all questions are answered. But we might as well take a look at a few sites here in a minute, Mark, and show you exactly what we're talking about in terms of the keywords and design.
Yes, let's get to that. And I wanted to emphasize what you said, because you kind of went right through it, and it was a really great point. You said that, well, basically there's two keys to a good website, and we kind of covered them, but we didn't really get to, we didn't really just spell it out for you. So the one key is you need people to find you, okay? And that is using the search engine, and that's what keywords are for. But on top of that, the other part is when people get to your site, and that's the other key. That's the personal aspect. It's the design elements and making them feel easy, and they actually want to be the site. They don't have to work for the information, and all of that. So, and that's what this personalized approach is about. Once you got to snag them, and that's with the keywords. And then once you get them, you got to keep them. Okay. So yeah, Colin, why don't we take a look at a site? And I'm just going to pop up this first one here. And is this the one you want to talk about first?
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Okay. This is actually one I just ran across today. I was reading some tweets from a business coach, an online business coach, or social media coach, or everyone kind of claiming that title these days. And it's getting kind of confusing. But her tweets were very compelling, and I was learning a lot from her tweets. And I like Twitter a lot, and she was doing a good job with it. And, of course, on your Twitter profile, you get to see a website. So I clicked on it, and when I got here, there were just a lot of elements here that need to be fixed. Okay, instantly I see a lot of different things here that that it's usability more than anything. And she should know better, being an internet marketing coach, because if she's teaching people how to get more traffic, she's doing it all wrong. And this is a beautiful site. It's actually set up. I like the color scheme and everything, and that's pretty. But obviously the first thing that I'm looking at is just a lot of just a big lack of content on here. These those words over to the right-hand side that are all that look like a tag cloud or something. It's just very confusing. I don't think that looks like an image to me. I don't even think that that's real text.
It is. It's not a real tag cloud.
Well, whenever you use an image with words, your good keywords, those are good keywords, and they're nowhere else on this site except in this picture. Well, the search engines can't see what's on a picture. So a lot of these keywords here, for instance, have kind of gone to waste. And there's just not enough content on this home page for two reasons. One is not enough keywords or any kind of keywords in the heading tag to attract the search engine to this. They're going to look, a search engine robot's going to look at this site and not see anything to grab onto. They're looking desperately for keywords to grab onto, and there really just aren't any. On the usability end of it, this is an individual coach's site, a business coach, and I don't see yet a picture or a welcome video or anything that cozies me up to this. It's just very small, and I don't get enough information, and I'm so unintrigued I may just click out of it because I really don't know where to go, or I'm not inclined to go anywhere else on it. There's really no contact information there at the bottom. There's no copyright information. I don't know how long this site's been up or how old the information is. It's just very, very basic. And content is the key to attracting search engines. And there's no keywords really anywhere in, if you look at that content. There's none. She put her name, and that's about it. And, you know, these sites are easy to make, but these sites are your lifeblood to online businesses. These were people come for information. This is where you change and have the opportunity to change people's lives with information. And it's an opportunity to make large amounts of money because Mark and I do it and other people do it too. And content is king on here. And there's just really nothing, a whole lot going on here. I know Mark's going to say a lot about this site too.
Yeah, I was staring it down, waiting. I was really waiting for this. This is an image. It's not even anything searchable. It's a big waste, like what Colin said. This is your heading tag, and this is where you would want to put something with some keywords. And unfortunately, parlay communications is not really a good keyword. Parlay is not. I guess communications is, but that is, again, so broad that it's not really going to get anybody search engines. I don't know what Mindshare is, so that's neat, but that's not a keyword. And then down here, at least they tell you what they do. They help professional service firms and rainmakers raise their visibility and generate sales. I don't even know what a rainmaker is. Maybe that's a specific term that some professional service firms would use, but I don't know. They did put marketing, branding, and social media, but that's really not enough. And then actually, here you go. You can get a new signed copy of the book, which again might turn a couple people off unless it's free. If it's free, that's great. But if it's selling something already, that might turn people off. Colin likes to always take a look at this, the title here, the title tag. You can actually change this, and this is a great place to put keywords. And this will change with each different page on the website. Or you can actually make it change. See, now it says services up here. And this is one of the first things that search engines look at. And again, I really don't think, and if nobody knows about this business, nobody's going to type in Parlay Communications. And so it's not going to help. It's not going to show up at all. So, I mean, we could probably go through and rip this thing a whole lot more if we want to, but that's it in a nutshell. It just doesn't have anything of content, and it doesn't. The personality factor, connecting with the customer, is a little difficult too.
So where are the title bars on this? I mean, point that out a little bit, Mark. Exactly what
Sorry,
a title bar is exactly.
can you see? I hope you can see that where I'm pointing up here, the HTTP colon. Okay, okay, that is a title bar. If you're watching, you're probably watching us on the internet right now. It probably will tell you what the title is up at the top of your of the page you're on right now, and you can see this for every website. And this is the first thing that search engines look at. And you can actually, the person, or if you work on your site or whoever works on your site, they can easily change these. And this is a fantastic place to put keywords, and not just keywords, but you can also put keyword phrases. Okay, I mean, if anything, she should put marketing, branding, and social media. That's a little bit better of a heading tag, but that would have been great up here too, up in the title. So that is one major thing that you should do, and everybody should take a look at their site. They don't even need to log in or do any of the HTML or coding or anything. Just go to your site like a regular person and look up at the top of your browser and let me know what it says. Also, sometimes, Colin, I believe that, see how I'm holding my mouse over this little tab? I think Internet Explorer does this. You can hold your mouse over and it'll actually show you the title tag as well, the title bar area, or whatever's in the title bar.
And I just want to add to this, Mark, that the title bar area, according to all the Google experts and search engine news and everything, and all the research we do, is almost 80% of where the spiders look for keywords in those title bars. That's a lot. That makes up so much, and you can see with a lot of sites that we're neglecting the keywords in the title bars. And here's another thing I want to share with you right now as well. Each page of a website has its own title and title bar, and each page should have keywords in the title bar that relate to whatever the topic of that page is. So you're able to optimize each page of a website. That's the real secret to getting good search engine positioning, instead of just doing the home page and letting the others kind of flounder. We see that all the time, but each page can be optimized. And remember, the home page is not the page that always comes up in search results. Often it's other pages of your site, depending on whether they're optimized with certain words. So there's a lot of opportunity here to put a lot of keywords in these title bars, and I just want to put it in your head there that the title bar is the most important place and one of the most neglected and misunderstood places for keywords.
Yep, and we're getting a couple questions. First off, Clydette is asking, is this person trying to help with internet marketing? And yes, Colin was kind of calling them out and saying that this person is trying to help businesses online, and they're kind of not even doing what they're saying. And actually, if you look at this paragraph, social networking is a powerful means to build a personal brand, propel a career, and even build a business. Well, they're not really succeeding on the personal side of things. So, yes, they're trying to do internet marketing. We also have some. What's that?
Let's before we. I think I've seen about enough of this site I can stand. To give them an example of what title bars look like, just go over to one of our favorite people here, Antion.com, and type that in. And he obviously Tom's optimized his title bars fantastic, and just get an idea of what we mean by that. Now look at the title bar up there that Mark's pointing out. Now he's put those in the title area, and look at the keywords that he's used: presentation skills, public speaking, professional speaking. Now that's what we're talking about. We're talking 3 good words or phrases in your title bar, and you can do that with each one of your pages. Now I want to answer a question really quick that Joanne said. How do you change the title bar? Well, again, your website designer, whenever they're building a site, there's a place in the code that creates the page that just says title, and you can write whatever you want in there. And in WordPress, which a lot of us use, you can install the SEO, the all-in-one SEO pack plugin, and whatever you put in the title there shows up in your title bar. So it's just super duper easy. And the all-in-one SEO pack, there's quite a few SEO optimizing packs for WordPress, and no matter which one you get, there's a place to put a title. And it's just down at the bottom of any post or page when you're creating WordPress. So if you guys don't have that yet and you got WordPress, definitely go get it and start using it tonight. What we're going to show you is our immediately usable benefits that can change the performance in the search engines and the performance of people visiting your site basically by this weekend. Everything can change for you, and watch the numbers go up. We guarantee it. So this is the SEO pack. That's where you can put title that create title bars. So that's your WordPress trick for tonight. But we'll be definitely getting into a lot of questions here towards the end. So we want to save all those questions up. And if you can go back to anion.com again, let's point out a couple places where he's put keywords. And it's if you look, there's keywords in his navigation. Okay, this is a sneaky trick, and a lot of people will put their navigation, they'll put about, contact, store, stuff like that. Tom went an extra mile by actually inserting searchable keywords in the navigation links, and that's really cool. So instead of putting store, he put speaking tools, so he could get the word speaking in there. And then about me, he put need a speaker. That's really cool, you know. So these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. And if you go back to like the home page, you'll see that he has a lot of keywords kind of shifted up towards the top of the page. You'll see that there's a clickable link at the very top that says get 1 year of online public speaking training. Okay, he did that on purpose. As we talked about the keywords, anchor text is a clickable phrase, and a keywords being up in the top of the website. The website spiders on Google and Yahoo and Bing start from the top of the website and work their way down the page looking for keywords. So when you skew keywords closer to the top of the page, you're optimizing much better that way. So you can see the different keywords that he's put in here. And they're placed like at the beginning of paragraphs, beginning of sentences, closer to the top of the page. The clickable links don't say things like click here, usually. I see where it says click here, but it also says free webinars on marketing and professional speaking. You always want to put keywords in the clickable links, and Mark pointed that out. It's called anchor text. So you can see, if you want to see an example, this is always a good one to check out.
Yes, it is. And you know what? Tom, he doesn't always do exactly what we're saying. He has click here as anchor text, and that's really not searchable. But it's okay, I mean, because he has so many other anchor text that is optimized for the search engine. So, well, Colin, yeah, you had a ton of good points. The navigation has keywords. He has keywords up near the top. He has keywords and clickable links. We're still getting a good number of questions on where can you change the title bar. Honestly, if you have WordPress, there's one way to do it that way. If you have a Drupal or what Joomla, there's a different way to do it that way. If you have just HTML, it's basically how you save the page. But WordPress is one of the easiest, and it's in your dashboard, but it changes with whatever theme you have. So we can't really just go and tell you exactly where it is. Unfortunately, I apologize, but it is in your dashboard if it's WordPress, and it's other ways if you're not using WordPress. So you might have to just do a quick Google search, and they can help you out.
Yeah, on a regular website that isn't WordPress, whenever you have a template that you download that you're building your site with, in every template on a website builder, there's a little place at the top of the code that says title, and it's usually empty. And most people don't put anything in there, so it stays empty. And I think it just defaults as the URL if you don't put anything in it. So anytime you're building a site or you're having any kind of designer help you, there's a simple place to put what's called a title tag, and it's in the code of the template. And every website template's got one. So if your web designer didn't help you with that or you didn't see it before, just let us know and we'll show you, take you like a screenshot of what that looks like. And every template's got one, and it's not hard to change it. It's just something we don't really think about when we're sitting there adding pictures and doing all this other stuff. It's a thing we always forget about the most.
Yep.
Let's take a look at another site, Mark.
Yeah, let's do that. I wanted to throw in the all-in-one SEO pack. I put the link to it in the chat box, and it's completely free if anybody wants that. And that is only for WordPress. But if you don't have it, we recommend it. We use it, and it makes things very simple. So yes, we're going to check out another one that might need some changes. Is that correct?
Go ahead. I'm going to answer a question real quick. PH says the title bar doesn't show up in Firefox. That's true. And I don't know a whole lot about Firefox, but the search engines can still see it. Just because it doesn't show up in a tab or at the top, you're not doing this for your customers, remember. You're doing it strictly for the search engines, and they are the ones that still see it. So even in Firefox, it makes a big difference. And Todd's asking, does Blogspot have title bars? No, you can't change the template or do anything to optimize Blogspot. So that's why we don't recommend it, and that's why we always talk about doing WordPress instead. And then Al says, do permalinks differ from title bars? Yes, the permalink is the keywords that are in your URL of your address. What comes after the /. So those are permalinks, and that's different than a title bar. So those are a couple questions. And remember, stick with us after in just a little bit here, and we're going to answer a big Q&A, and it's going to be really killer and immediately benefit you tonight. So let's take a look at this site, Mark. What do you think about this guy?
This is a very interesting site. It's the Mountain Man Gourmet, recipes for real men. This site needs some work. Let's just say it needs some work. To start off, I'm more of the graphic-y kind of person, so I noticed this right away. It's kind of neat that he has this little graphic up here at the top, but it's not an image, so it's not being searchable, and it's two different sizes. So right away, it doesn't look very professional. Sorry, Mountain Man. Also, on the right-hand side, sun side up breakfast skillet, maybe searchable. Yumbo underneath that, they put Yumbo. That's not even a keyword whatsoever. And then underneath that, it just says plugins. So just looking at the top here, I'm looking at it and I'm saying this site doesn't really even look completely finished. So if somebody came from the search engines and came here, I don't know what kind of first impression they would get, and this is where you first come to when you come to this site. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. We got the navigation. Here's what Colin was talking about. Instead of having keywords, he just has about. Cookbooks for real men. Okay, now that actually does have, I say it has some keywords, so that's okay in my book. Recipes, what kind of recipes? Recipes is such a broad thing that you might have to get a little bit more technical. And store that really doesn't, nobody's going to be typing in store, and hopefully your site pops up. It's just not. So you might as well take advantage of something that's related to Mountain Man Gourmet. It's got to be Mountain Man products or something. You know, that's just off the top of my head. But there's more. Let's see. He actually did, the title bar is okay, the Mountain Man Gourmet, but what is that? He could expand on it a lot more with keywords. The Mountain Man Gourmet, recipes and cookbooks for real men, or something like that. You know, something a little bit more detailed, so he can maybe snag some more search engine traffic. And then on the technical side, see this image? I put my mouse over the image, but I didn't click it, and a little window pops up, and it's telling me what the image's alt text is, and alt means if this image didn't show up, it would say this. I could actually read it. And so it says LJC, whoops, disappeared on me. It says LJC in snow-black jacket. That has nothing to do with recipes for real men. Sorry. Why don't? And so what you should do is you want to put keywords in this alt tag, alt text for all of your images. And again, this is specific to if it's WordPress or whatever, but instead of just having the name of the file, which doesn't really get you anything, put keywords in this alt text. Colin, I know you want to throw in on this. I mean, I could keep going. But
yeah, okay, Mark. Now that we've talked about the image tags, where you showed that alt tag, I want to give you guys a real secret that you can use tonight that I hide keywords in that works like a charm. Obviously, you upload photos to your website and your WordPress and your regular website all the time. You've probably got tons of photos, and if you do, great. But do you realize that the image file names that you upload to your site can have keywords in them? So whenever you download images from a digital camera or wherever you got your images from, they're usually listed like blackcoat.jpg or 11368.jpg and all this nonsense file names. When an image, Mark, is sitting on your computer, you can you can rename that file, that JPEG file, and when you rename it, you can put keywords in it. So before I upload any of my photos to my website, now I have Internet Explorers and a PC, so when an image is sitting on your desktop, for instance, all you have to do is right-click. You can even try it right now if you want, or wait till the webinar is over, but you right-click on the image file on your desktop and go down to the bottom and you click Rename. And you can rename that file with keywords in it, and then you upload it to your website, because that image with the keywords is buried in that code, and the spiders can see that, and it's a great place to put it. And your customers never, and your visitors never see that. They don't know what's going on, but you've hidden keywords, and that's a huge trick that you're going to take away with you tonight that works like a charm. So I would name this, I see him in a black coat there and a red hat. It's a cute picture. I'm glad he's got a picture of himself on here, as opposed to the last one we looked at, but he could have uploaded, he could have, instead of that picture being whatever the heck it was, he could have renamed it recipes for outdoor living .jpg or recipes for hiking or cooking in the outdoors, or any of these keywords that would lead people to the site, and hide them in the images. Now that's a huge tip you're not going to hear in most places, and hardly anyone's doing it, and it works like crazy. So that was what Mark was explaining about hiding images or hiding keywords or putting them in file names of images. And you can do it with video as well.
Yep. Yeah. And when Colin says hiding, I don't want you to think that this is like some sort of shady practice. It's not. The search engines love it. It is completely legitimate. It's just something that a lot of people don't do. And well, people were asking about the title bar. Well, I can actually show you. We're in WordPress right now, and this is our media library. And here are some of our images, and some of them are not optimized, and that's fine. But if we wanted to, we would actually just go right in into edit, and this is only in WordPress, remember. And right here where it says the title, I could put a keyword-rich term right in here, and also in the alternate text too. Okay, and then I would just update the media, and that would do it.
Yeah, that was really easy right there, Mark.
That's it. And so that's how you do it in WordPress. Now, I'm sorry, I can't cover everything else, but that's how you do it in WordPress.
Well, let me answer a couple questions real quick before
I was seeing a couple of these
so we don't get too backed up.
Okay.
Dexter says, if you had a drop-down menu for the recipes that said other words like mountain man breakfast, big man lunch, lumberjack snacks, would that help? Well, yes, only because those drop-down menus in WordPress or any other site are actually other pages, separate pages that can be optimized with keywords. Now, some of the words you used there, Dexter, mountain man breakfast, big man lunch, those aren't really strong keywords, but you can optimize each one of those pages in a drop-down menu. So that is another place to make the site look bigger and add more stuff, instead of, say, clicking to a recipe page and have them all listed on one page. You can get a lot more search engine juice by having separate pages with all those recipes on it and optimizing the title bars for those with good keywords. Katie says, if you want to list 3 keywords, to use a space in between. Actually, we use a comma, and that's all you need. For title bars, that works really good, and we've been using it all the time. And Joanne says, is changing the name in WordPress the same as changing the file name of your photo before you load it into the media library? Yes. Actually, I don't think you can't change the file name, but you can change the alt tags and title tags in WordPress. So you do want to change the file name on your computer before you upload any pictures to your media library or your main website. And you'll take care of all those. So let's get moving on to see what else we got. Is there any other sites that we want next victim?
Yep, we do have some more. Yes, we do. And Colin, yeah, you did mention that you liked his image, and that is a good thing because that is adding to the personalization. That Colin is always hyping. You want to be personal, and that image does help. So good job on the Mountain Man Gourmet with the image. Okay, here's the next one. This one is called passionforbusiness.com, and let's see what we got going on here. Let's see, Colin. Okay. Do we want to start talking about opt-in forms?
Yeah, have you noticed there's been something missing from every one of these so far? Okay, let me ask you, here's a theoretical question. I know you guys have a website because you wouldn't be here on this call if you didn't. But imagine all the people that come to your website. Remember I gave a little thing at the beginning here. I said, what about the 1,000 people that come there and nothing happens? Well, what is it do you expect to happen if there's no place to sign up for a newsletter or an opt-in, as we call it? And none of the sites here had any place to leave our name and email to get something for free. There's two reasons why you want to do that. First off, so you can build a database of prospects. And secondly, anything you give away for free, like a newsletter or an ebook or something for signing up, is only helping that person's life. And they get to know you better, and they can start making a judgment call about whether you're really an expert in your field or not. And so far, we haven't seen an opt-in on yet so far. I don't know if the site's got it because we haven't scrolled down, but that's the whole point. If you have to scroll down, that may not be the best place for an opt-in. And I'm kind of seeing that's a no on this one. You know, don't make your visitor click around and around and around in circles and finally get to some contact page where they have to dial your phone number, because it's not going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen. You can put your phone number down there all you want, and nobody's going to call you. You have to make it easy for people, and you have to bribe people to leave their email. They already have enough junk mail already. Why would they want to sign up, even if you did have an opt-in form? What would make them want to sign up? Something, a freebie, something of value? You have to think about those kinds of things. But think of the 1,000 people a month or more that come to this site that you'll never get to see again, ever, that were interested in but not ready to buy or ready to make a conversion. And you've lost them. You're never going to get those people back. They won't be back. And these are like having a store, a retail store, with the doors locked and people coming up and knocking and peeking in and seeing a dark room. It's just people going in and out. You're losing business constantly. So the opt-in, that's a huge element to a website success. It's not that hard to do.
Okay, yeah. This site does have some things going for it that's pretty good, and then a couple things that are a little iffy. But we actually had a question about what is anchor text again? Anchor text is here's a great example of it. It's a clickable word or phrase, and this is where you want to put keywords. You want to make it clickable, and it clicks to whatever page this is going to. So they did a pretty good job. Small business coaching is clickable. Consulting is clickable. Classes, okay, cool. A small business coach, great. So they're doing a really good job with the anchor text. But when you first get to this page, okay, passion for business, that's cool. At least I know it's a business site, I think. Right? So then the next thing I look at is start. Just starting out, not sure where to begin, we can help. Now I'm confused. Just starting out with what? Potty training or getting my driver's license? I have no idea. Grow. Feeling stuck. We'll take you to the next level. Does this have to do with plants, gardens? Are these same? I'm a little confused. Finally, in the third one, it says ready to transform and realign your business and marketing model. Okay, cool. Also, they have big text down here too. Small business coaching and consulting for the self-employed. So it's really not terrible, but we haven't really talked about the fold, and the fold is a term that means basically it came from newspapers, and a newspaper was usually folded in half, so all the important information was on the top half, the above the fold of the newspaper, and works with the website just as well. Is anything that I have to scroll down to is considered below the fold. So this real estate right here above the fold is some of the most important real estate. It's what people see first. It's and sometimes people don't go any farther than the information that's above the fold. So, in my opinion, these pictures are taking up a good amount of real estate that you could maybe put maybe make them smaller, maybe move them to the side or something, but I would probably change that just because I want to use all of this space above the fold as much as I can. But we did get a message of somebody saying that if you click the different tabs, you will get an opt-in. Is that correct? Yep, look at that, the 10 biggest marketing mistakes and how to fix them. So that's cool. At least they did put an opt-in form here, and that's great. So it's in almost every tab. There's a couple tabs that it's not, and there's a couple tabs that it is. So that's okay. It'd be, in my opinion, I'd be even happier if it was on the home page, and I think that's what Colin was also getting at as well, right, Colin?
Yeah, 10 biggest marketing mistakes. Here's the number 11. Put the opt-in on the home page above the fold. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to be mean, okay, but I just want people, you know, this woman here is probably really good at what she does, and there's a lot of people that need her help. And when she makes it easier for people to work with her and to discover more and to just make it easier, the usability, the whole experience here, everyone's going to win, including her and her customer. And I noticed that her title bars are well done. Look at that up at the top. We just pointed those out. Small business coaching and consulting for the self-employed. That's excellent. Up here. I love that.
Yeah.
And okay, the header is really big, but the fact that you can click on those things is kind of neat real estate, and it's got a little bit of a purpose. I don't even know how she did that. It's actually graphically kind of really beautiful. You know, it looks good.
Yep.
So I like that. And then Mark just pointed out the clickable anchor text at the bottom. Those very good, very good. It's actually very well done. The opt-in is the only thing that's really bugging me. But of course, are the images, like that picture of her, can you see if that's got any keywords in it at all? Because that's a great place to pop them in there.
This one is not showing up. Let's see about Julie. No.
Can you save that and see the file name?
Yeah, let's see. Karen Greenstreet, title 150. So that doesn't really have any keywords.
Small Business Coach 22 or anything in that file name before she uploaded it.
Yeah, all the images don't have alt text that you could put keywords in. So that's something that they should definitely do. It would help them out.
I like the bullet points. Those are the formatting is easy on the eyes, very well done in terms of you know, instantly knowing what's going on here if I really want to read the content, even though it is slightly long homepage and the testimonials are a little bit too long. I'm not usually going to read all that, which is a shame. I see Bob Egan there left this great testimonial, but it's a little longer than I would like to spend time reading, which may make me not read it at all, and I might miss out something very interesting like that. So there's a lot of clickable links on here, which can be a little confusing to people, even though she did a good job using the anchor text and the keywords. There's just too many links, and I'm not sure why or which one I really want to click on because the navigation is a little wide open, and you can see these drop-downs are like just tons and tons of links. And the one thing I want to reiterate about this, something like this, is that the confused mind votes no. And if there's too much information, it can hurt you. And I know that as website owners and business owners, we like to put a lot of information on there because we're proud of what we know and we're proud of what we can help people with. But if it's too confusing, it can really hurt your visits.
Yeah, we also like to would like to follow the KISS method of keep it simple, stupid. So if it's simple to navigate through, I appreciate it. Also, Ken mentioned, it's not really a question, but he had a great comment. He said, maybe it's just me, but my various web developers seem to struggle with opt-in pages and checkboxes and et cetera because they want to concentrate on the whiz-bang design more. He's hoping it's changing. Well, I mean, to some it's changing, but to a lot, a lot of web developers and designers, that's what they are. They're designers. They're not marketers, and they're not small business owners, and they're not SEO people. You need a combination of both. But if you can't have both, you gotta have the SEO over the web design. I mean, okay, look at Tom's for example. It's great SEO, but it's not the most beautiful looking site. I'll be the first to say, but it does the job, you know. So, and he's the one making money, whereas somebody else who's a speaker that has a bunch of fireworks and a bunch of stuff going on but they don't have any keywords, they are not even being found. So you can have a great looking site that nobody goes to, or you can have a site that everybody is going to, and it still looks good. It's just the design is not the top overall factor. It's more of the content.
Hey, Mark, go ahead and put in this site I want everyone to see real quick. It's called lifeformchairs.com. And I did a critique on this. One of our clients asked me to look at this site, and it's cute. I like it, and even though there was a bunch of little things wrong with it that I pointed out, I found something very interesting here, and you have to be really careful about this. Go ahead and scroll down. It's not a very big site, so scroll down. You can see that the template ends, and that's fine. There is a copyright that's from 2009, so I'm not sure if this information is updated. Remember, with a copyright like that, Google can see that, and so can your visitors, and you don't want to give the impression that this site hasn't been updated in 3 years, because that's not the kind of search results Google's looking for. Now, if you scroll up again and just click on any of the other pages, I noticed something about the template here, and scroll down to the bottom. And when I was looking for this site, there was lines or something over on the right-hand side. That might have been fixed since I was here last, but over on the left-hand side at the bottom, try another page and we'll see. This template was broken over there, and they fixed it since I gave them sent the advice this week. Good job on that, Jerry, because that was a critical thing. There were broken links at the bottom that somehow the template screwed something up, and they had invisible links to other sites that you couldn't see, but if you put your cursor over it, it would link out to another site. And I had to tell him that that's a good way to get banned. And there's little mistakes like that in your template that can go wrong. Templates tweak out all the time, so you want to keep a constant vigil on this and always go through all your pages and make sure that there aren't broken links, that there aren't broken templates, or anything like that that Google frowns upon. If you have links that are clickable but they don't go anywhere, then you could be banned. If the links go to a site that's been banned, you can be banned. You just got to go through every once in a while and don't leave your site to the whim of just the web gods. You need to go in and check these things every once in a while and make sure everything works efficiently. Not only does it help your visitor, but Google is frowning and punishing sites that are sloppy with broken links.
Yep, and Colin, you pointed out a point that we were going to bring up, and I'm glad you did, the copyright. This is the first time we've really mentioned it, but the copyright is very important, and you want to make sure that it is updated. The search engines pay attention to that, so make sure the copyright is updated. And then, actually, my technical nerdy side might have got ahead of me. Somebody wasn't really sure about SEO, so SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and that's what I mean. There's SEO people that are, you know, like us, and then there's these graphic designers. So, yeah, this site, you must have fixed it, so let's move on to something else.
See, I'm glad people are acting on this. I did a personal website critique for this business, and they've already started making changes, and that's excellent. And that kind of motivation is what's going to make them successful. Let's talk about content real quick over on our slides there, Mark.
Yes, let's do that.
And we want to talk about a few things about what content, because above all keywords and usability, there's one third key that's starting to become more important than the others. Not quite yet, but you have to be ready for it. And it's content. And I know that we talk about content being king, and you've seen some different content examples tonight. But why is it important? Well, the content, if it's there and you do a good job, it builds your trust and credibility. Obviously, people can find out about you through good content. It also, if it's compelling and interesting, it brings visitors back. Also, if they find it compelling and interesting, they're going to read more content. And the more content you have on there, that creates what we call a stickiness, where people stay on the site longer. And it decreases people bouncing off. A bounce is someone who comes to a site and just leaves in 3 seconds. We call it bouncing, like a ball off a wall, okay? And good content can make people feel better about purchasing. So it breaks down sales resistance. What else about content is important right now? Next slide.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is all the personalization section that we were talking about.
Yeah, I wanted to definitely cover different things that search engines are going to be looking for beyond your keywords. Keywords are how they find it, but they're going to be adding new things to the search results to keep a website high in the search results. And first off, they're going to start banning content or low content websites. Websites that don't have very much on there of interest, there's no sense that they should be in the top of a search result anymore. They're going to reward sites that really offer good information. Also, if the experience of the visitor, whether they like it and engage it and share it with their friends and leave comments, Google's going to reward that kind of site too. So we didn't even look at a few sites and whether you could share your pages with the share buttons, the Facebook and tweet this to your friends, and those kinds of things are very important to good website design. And obviously they're going to give higher results to websites that people like, and they can tell what sites they like, and we'll explain that in just a minute, because of a new search logarithm called Panda. And Panda just simply means that instead of just strictly keywords getting causing good search results, they're going to reward higher and longer lasting search results to sites that people share and like and comment on and share with their friends and stay on there longer. And Google can tell they can tell when people like and are engaging in their website, and that's very important in terms of content.
Somebody's asked when you said panda, somebody said penguin. No,
that's the same thing. Actually,
yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Penguin is a different algorithm, but it has something to do with relevant keywords and linking strategies throughout the sitemap, which is a little bit more complicated. We're not getting into any of that, obviously. But Panda is actually the measurements of people sharing, commenting, and liking websites. And obviously, you know, if a website's popular with people, Google should reward that. So you should take a look at your content and make sure, and we've looked at a few content tonight, Mark, that there wasn't really much on there for me to stay very long, and that's hurting the search results, no matter how great the keywords are.
Oh, yeah. This Panda update is very important, and Colin just hit the nail on the head that search engines are going to be looking for websites that are more social, okay? There's more going on. People are hanging out. People are going back to it. People are commenting and sharing it and sending it to their friends, and you know, getting other people. So and you know, Google, for instance, not even just all the other search engines, but Google, you know, they have their own social site, so they are absolutely following, you know, the social aspect of things. So if your site doesn't have good content that keeps people coming back or commenting on or engaging somehow, it's going to hurt you. All right.
Well, I've got a site that I found today that I really like, and it's the Men with Pens. I think you have the address to it, Mark. And let's take a look at that. And if there's any more slides on that, I'm not really sure where we are with the slides.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a look at this site. There was a question, Jan said, how can you clarify what you mean about being banned? How do you know if you've been banned, and how do you get unbanned? You've been banned if you constantly put yourself search for your own keywords and you never come up in search results, or you saw yourself there once and it was gone, or you just take the URL to your site and pop it into the search box and search on the address to your site, and it'll say if it's indexed or been banned. And if you get banned, you don't really get unbanned. I have no idea how you get unbanned. You just don't do anything, okay, to try to get banned, because obviously it's a big pain in the ass to get re-indexed, so we don't want to go there. So take a look at this site. This is pretty cool. I mean, I looked at it today. I didn't look at it in depth, but I liked the elements of it so far. It's got good graphics. The navigation is kind of right in the middle. at eye level. That's really neat. Look at the title bar up the top. Genius custom web design. I mean, they're making a hell of a statement there, aren't they, Mark? Copywriting services for business. I like that. That was well done. There's another thing I'd really like. It's called social proof. And you can see at the top it says join 40,000 other readers and subscribe to our email. What they're saying is that if it's good enough for 40,000 other people, it's good enough for you too. Kind of a suggestive, stealthy thing that I really like. And there's two different navigations, like a main navigation, and then there's like this thing down there at the bottom that actually creates a slideshow or something. I'm not even sure what that is, but it's kind of neat. And another thing that I wanted to point out that Mark was talking about, see, that was really cool. I like that. Above the fold, it says, here's your first opt-in of the night, Mark, or the one that was on the homepage. It says, get on the list. And it's above the fold, so you don't really have to go very far to see that. And it says, sign up now for access to updates and exclusive content and all sorts of secret stuff you don't want to miss. That's kind of cool. I mean, I like the way they worded that in terms of content. This is a really neat site. And look at the, go back up a little bit, scroll back up, Mark, and look at the keyword or the anchor text phrases that were under, like, right there. How to be a freelance writer. That is a super duper keyword phrase that's constantly searched on all the time. How to blog for business, web design, copywriting. Look at these clickable links. Create believable characters. I have searched for that phrase myself when I was writing my novel. Okay, they really have it going on here. And I don't know what in the world they have. So many great, look at this, how to sell like a life insurance salesman. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of compelling in terms of once I get here, I kind of want to read it, especially when it says warning explicit content. It's right up my alley.
Yes, it is.
So I like all this.
Yeah.
You'd have to really kind of dig deep to see what kinds of stuff they could improve on. But this is an example of decent content. Oh, and yeah, like this sort of site mappy, like if you've gone to the bottom, there's still a way to get the home page. And I can see Mark's freaking out because they have not updated their copyright. Shame, shame. I knew we'd find something. If you click to read more right there under one of those posts, let's see if we're able to share this with our friends. What we were just talking about in the left, there it is right there. It's another thing that we didn't see on any of the sites tonight so far. The ability to tweet this to all my friends. Now look how many people, 65 people have tweeted this to their friends and followers just on Twitter alone. 27 Facebook shares and 15 Google Pluses. That's a lot of sharing that I couldn't do with the other sites that we saw tonight. So we're not even, this is a way to get traffic above and beyond the search results. So a site like this is easy if you just implement these little tips and things. These are plugins for WordPress. These are just simple pieces of code that web designers know about. It's just we tend to forget about this kind of stuff. What other stuff do you see here, Mark, that you like or don't like?
Yeah, I was waiting to get in on that. Yeah, Colin, you're right. All the stuff on the sidebar here that all has clickable anchor text that people would be looking for. Of course, I like the graphics. Here's the sharing option again. There's more than one place to share. There's more than one place to sign up. There's more than one opt-in form. Which one's at the top, one's at the end. So that's a really good idea. If somebody reads your article, they say, this is great, you can snag them right there. They don't have to go anywhere. So that's a nice touch. Another thing that I wanted to show was the permalinks, because we were talking about those a second ago. And so here is the title for this one page: Website Copywriting Services from an Industry-Leading Voice. Here's a vertical line, and then their website, Men with Pens. But then if you look at the URL, it has their site, and this is the permalink: /website-copywriting-for-business. Website copywriting for business. That's perfect. That's great. That has keywords in it. So you're jamming keywords in the title and in the top of the URL. And the URL is for each different page. So if I did website design, it would say website design for your business. If I did copywriting, copywriting. So very well thought out. Yeah, it's good site.
Very simple. I mean, I like it. I mean, I saw this instantly and I just had a feeling about it, and I didn't go through it like we just did. So I wasn't sure if it was going to hold up to our critique tonight, but it seems to be doing quite well, and I just really like it. And the graphics are simple. The colors are easy. That red kind of stands out up there in that little tagline. So
Yeah,
I think this
it's
site
nice.
probably does it very well.
Yeah, it's very
In
nice.
every aspect that we covered tonight.
Yeah, yeah, really nice. You actually gave me some ideas. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
love it.
okay, somebody want to know what does PANDA stand for? I don't think it stands for anything. I'm not really
Well,
sure.
it's Panda is the guy's name that invented it, so
There
it
we go.
doesn't mean
Okay.
anything.
Yes, no, it's not like a abbreviation or anything. Okay, so how can Google tell what people like? And we already kind of covered this, so most of this. You want to elaborate on any more of these, like maybe the stickiness, Colin? Because we
Well, stickiness, yeah, it's
have a
the
question.
idea that we're staying on a website longer, and Google can tell if you're staying, who is staying, and who's bouncing quick, and they're going to use that to get search results. So it is within your power tonight and this weekend and forever hereafter to create content and engaging stuff that's fun and interesting that keep people on there, such as stories or a bio or interesting story or videos. Mark, you didn't even, our video
I know.
God here didn't even cover too much about videos, but videos, people love them. They watch them, but it's a sneaky way of keeping people on the site longer. So if a video is 2 or 3 minutes long and they watch the whole thing, that's longer than most people stay on most sites.
Yeah,
So all
please
this
put a
stuff needs to be
please
measured, so you want to be able to keep track of it.
please put a video up there. If you don't have one of your own, well, shame on you, but you can still find something relevant to your content. Put it up there. If it's even 2 minutes long, 1 minute long, that means that if people are watching it on your site, they're there for a minute. And trust me, even a minute looks great to the search engines compared to a 15-second person that just stops in and leaves right away. So please, it's very simple to put videos on your site. You can just go to YouTube and put them on, okay? Now, Colin, we have to see if we're going to run another poll really quick and see if you now know more ways to get visitors to your website. So if you could please select either yes or no and type that in, and we will give you a couple more. Wow. Wait till you see these results, Colin.
I say nah. I say I
Say
didn't
no?
learn enough and I want to learn more.
Okay. Well, that's what the Q&A is for. Don't please. We are getting really close to the Q&A. We have been answering questions, but we are going to answer as many as we possibly can coming up right really quickly after this poll. So I'm just going to let this poll run for about 5 more seconds. Get your answers in before I close it up. And 3, 2, 1. And let me show you that screen really quick here. Whoops, my mouse disappeared on me.
Oh
There
my
we go.
God.
Do you know more ways to get visitors to your website? Well, at least 95% of you out there, say yes. You at least know some more ways.
Wow,
You
Mark,
know,
I think everyone, I need an affirmation because Mark could have faked this poll. Did we do a pretty damn good job tonight at telling you how to get some more visitors by all
send
this
something
stuff?
in.
Pop in some yeses in there, and I want to see the yeses because I don't know what's going on over there at that school sometimes with him and this Mac. So everyone's saying yes, yeah, yes, yes, great, thank you. Evidently, we did really good here, Mark.
Yep.
I am so happy. Wow, that was a great, great poll results. Look at all the yeses pouring in there, Mark.
Yeah, I know. That's great. Thank you,
Heck yeah, hell yeah, I love
everybody.
it. Chris,
And
yes.
now start warming up your brains because we are going to get to the Q&A.
Sharpen
But
those
first,
pencils
that's
or write in
right.
blood, whatever you got to know, whatever you got to do.
That's right. And so now, what else do you need to know? Well, we covered a lot of this stuff, but we didn't get into too much detail. But you do need to know some of the best sharing plugins. You need to know what small mistakes could get you banned. How to keep your visitor from getting lost, and that has to do with the navigation. Of course, you need some copywriting tips that make people love you and buy from you, and that's all the content and personalization. And then we covered it, what keywords are best for your business, and not just what ones, but where they are on your site. You need to know all of this stuff. And so you guys are some of the lucky ones. If time was ever right for you to get a personalized and professional website critique from us, it's now. What's that? What is our offer? Well, we are going to give you a personalized 30-minute website critique. It's going to be a screen capture video from Colin and myself that you can watch over and over again. And it's going to be exactly like what we did here, but even in more detail. We go through every page. We go through all the main pages. And it's like watching over our shoulders. We take you step by step through the website. You get immediate results. And you, like we said, you can keep this over and over, watch this over and over again. And the benefits, we show you exactly what changes need to be made to your specific site and on what pages. And this you can now send to your webmaster or make changes yourself. And we've been doing this for a bunch of people, and we also, on top of that, we will also give you a customized spreadsheet of the best keywords for your business, and then we also show you the search numbers for those specific keywords, so you can get kind of an idea of how many people are looking for those specific keywords and what you should focus on content-wise. But that's not all. Colin, you want to tell them about all the bonuses that we're giving them if they want to do our little website critique?
These are some of the best bonuses that you can get. Obviously, Tom covered 60 different points in a 60-minute teleclass about how to make your website more effective and make more money. And I want to give everyone that MP3 that orders our offer tonight. And another bonus that's coming with that is the Creating Info Products for Free, the webinar that Mark and I did, that recording. And we did another one about press releases that is super popular, one of our most popular ones. People are getting all sorts of traffic with that, using press releases the right way with keywords. And then Mark wrote a book about YouTube. If you're going to put videos on your website and do any video marketing, this book is invaluable to your success of video marketing. And of course, this is the big one, guys. Next Monday at July 2nd, next Monday at 7 p.m., I'm having a workshop that's exclusive to my Stealth Persuasion workshop people called Opt-in Strategies that Convert Like Crazy. I want you to put an opt-in on your site, and I want you to build a database faster than ever before, and I have all the secrets. And this is exclusive. It's a $97 value. Only people of my Stealth Persuasion community can view this, but I'm offering it tonight, that workshop. If you guys want to make it in, that's $167 in bonuses, Mark, that we're offering tonight for this 30-minute website critique consultation.
Yes, and let's just take a look at these bonuses really quick. So the first one, 60 website tips in 60 minutes. So you're going to get even more tips on how to get traffic and keep people to your site. That's great. But then you can use the next bonus and create a new product that for free that then you can either offer as an opt-in to get people to opt in, or you can add it to another one of your products.
Oh, you give these away. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can also give these away. Yes, and then the webinar. Then after that, you can learn how to write the perfect press release to let everybody know about your new, fully optimized site, so you can get more traffic. And then you can actually use the YouTube Marketing Handbook to take YouTube and use its power to get even more people to the site. So you can use these bonuses after you get the critique. You could use it to just boost. The critique's going to get, if you do all the fixes that we give you in the critique, that on top of using all these bonuses is going to build a lot of traffic. And then look at bonus 5. Bonus 5, these people, you are being let in on this workshop with Colin that he is charging $97 for. So you're kind of like sneaking in with the people that paid $97. So don't tell them, okay? And that's $167 of bonuses. But let's show you, we've already been doing this, and here's just one example of a little testimonial that we got from somebody that we gave a critique. Colin and Mark, this is my sister's website, and the critique was fantastic. GoDaddy designed her site, and she's pissed. They charged her so much and did not give her what she wanted. You guys had great suggestions. We are now revamping and coming up with a new plan on what we're going to do. You are the best. Thank you so much. Warm regards, Rhonda. And what we did was we gave her a personalized, went through every page, told her what to do, and we're never really sure if people are going to be appreciative of what we tell them or if they're going to kind of lash back at us. And luckily, we've never had any lash outs back at us, but we got this awesome testimonial from Rhonda.
We've heard a few feelings. We've heard a few feelings out there because people love their website, but they came back and realized that it was the best thing we ever did for them.
Yeah, so just, take it from us, take it from Rhonda. There's a lot that can be done, and look at how happy she is. So anyway, if you would like to get the website critique and all 5 of those bonuses, you can get all of that for $77. And it's at topinternetconsulting.com/extreme. Feel free to go check it out right now, but please don't leave the webinar because we are going to get into the Q&A right after this slide. You can also, if you don't really want to do the $77 right now, you can do $40 now and $40 next month, and that's it. There's no additional charges after that. One other thing that I really want to mention about this website critique is if you actually purchase the website critique from us and we don't find a single thing wrong with your site, we will refund the money back to you, okay? And you can keep all the bonuses. So there's really no reason why you shouldn't give it a shot, because if your site's great, we will give you the money back, and if not, the only thing that's going to do is help your site with the suggestions that we give you. So feel free to check out topinternetconsulting.com/extreme to get all the information on that. But wait a second. Now, for all you live people that are on the webinar right now, if you order our website critique within the next 30 minutes, you're also going to get a free 7-day trial to the Great Internet Marketing Membership site. That is only available to those who paid for Tom and Dion's $8,995 mentorship program, and that you get the same access. So basically, we're sneaking you into Colin's workshop, and then we're not sneaking you, but we're letting you in on 7-day trial membership. Again, no charge after the 7 days. You just don't get access anymore, but you can get access to 300 MP3s, 200 audio recordings, and what was it, like 600, a ton of articles that you can download free from the site. So you could just sit on there for 7 days, just download all of this stuff, study it, give it away for free, do whatever do what you want with it. This is the next bonus if you do order within the next 30 minutes.
So, we are sneaking them in, Mark, because if Tom doesn't know about this, yeah, and please don't anyone tell him. He'd freak out. So if you guys definitely go to topinternetconsulting.com/extreme and get this. I want to add that the critique there's a lot of information, and if things aren't clear, just write me an email, and I'll clarify the things that we talk about in the critiques, because I know that you guys are trying to make these changes yourself, and it may be a little bit confusing. We also have solutions to help you make these changes for your website, even if you don't know how. And it's something that you can just talk to us about after you order the critique. And this critique, I told you earlier, immediately usable benefits that you could be seeing an difference by Saturday afternoon if you get this tonight from us. So we're not going to leave you hanging on this. We're going to give you a critique, totally personal experience like you saw here tonight, just for you, totally custom with custom spreadsheet keywords. This is the stuff we're talking about. So let's start our Q&A. We got 29 minutes to give left to get in on that 7-day free trial. So let's answer some questions. We're going to have to back up here, Mark. Go ahead and pick a few questions while I hit the little boys' room.
Okay. Okay.
And refill my wine glass here. Okay.
Hopefully not in the same room. But anyway, let's do this. Okay. Yeah. Here we go, guys. Let's do this Q&A. I'm going to hit as many of these as I can, and hopefully I don't make you cross-eyed with all of the. If I talk too fast, please let me know. Let's see. Should we put contact information on each page? What info should we include on each page? In our opinion, we believe that the opt-in should be on each page because, like Colin said, your visitors might not always go to the home page. They might come in from another article. They might come in from somewhere else. It really depends on what they're looking for. And if the opt-in is only on the home page, you're out of luck. But it absolutely should be on the home page. So we really like to put that on there. I like to have the contact information at least on the bottom of every page. I just think that's, you know what it does? It just shows people on your site that you're not scared and you're not really ashamed of your content or your website, and you're confident that if anybody needs to contact you, you're okay with that. So that's what I see. So yes, I put those two things on each page. Another thing that I make sure is on each page is navigation, so I can get back to the home page or I can get to any other page. So believe it or not, there's websites out there that we have clicked and went to a page and was not able to get anywhere else. And that's terrible. That's you're stuck. You're kind of basically trapped, and that's a pain in the butt. So that's a usability thing that I like to have on each page. Let's see. Katie says, would it help when we change our JPEG title? Would it be too much to say best business coach, an adjective in front of what you do? No, that's fine. Best, great, business coaching tips, business coach pro, professional I'd probably use. That's fine. Adjectives, I mean, just don't throw in 75 adjectives before you actually get to it, but best is, that's great. Good one. Sherry says, website isn't built yet. Can I defer the critique for the day? Yes. Keep the record. We're going to send you the recording. You can also defer if you want to buy it now and get the bonus within the 30 minutes. You can, yes, let us know when your site's done, and we can do it that way if you want to do it either way. Do we actually have to do a copyright or just have it there? To be honest with you, we just have it there. We don't go through the whole legal process. We put it on there, and I'm not a lawyer, but in our opinions, that is good enough. Okay. But if you're really iffy on it, get a lawyer. Don't quote me. Let's see. Susan wants to know, is there a way to put keywords hidden in a video, the equivalent of alt tags for videos? That's a good. It's not really hidden. You can make a sitemap, and there's also video sitemaps. That's super technical, but it can help. So that is a way to do it. If you're interested in that, there's no way I could. I could do a whole webinar just on that. So feel free to email Colin or myself, and we can give you more information on the sitemaps. Let's see. What if we have more than one website? Catherine wants to know. Is there a discount? Yes. We are just doing it on a person-by-person basis. We're thinking, if you do the 77 for whatever site you want, and you have an additional one, it won't be another 77. It'll be highly discounted. Okay. Feel free, Catherine, to email us if you have multiple sites. And I think what we're going to do is, if you have one additional site, it'll be so much. But if you have 3 or 4 additional sites, it'll be even, a little bit fluctuated to match. It'll be a little bit lower in price, okay, the more sites that you have. After listening to you, Todd says, my website needs to be completely dumped. My blog is Blogspot, and I guess that needs to be changed too. We recommend using, you've heard us talk about it all night, WordPress, but we recommend using the WordPress software, not WordPress.com. I repeat, do not use the WordPress.com, which is a free blogging website. You want to use the software WordPress and install it on your server, which means you have to buy the domain name and do that stuff. So that's getting a little technical, Todd, but I don't know if you really need to dump it. I might keep it up, and then in the meantime, make a full-fledged site, but use your Blogspot blog to drive traffic to that site. Okay, so I wouldn't dump anything. Let's see. Jan says, if you have a site that has been dormant for a while, intending to get it active again, anything specific I should know in addition to what you've shared that is specific? That's a good question. Again, if it's WordPress, I would actually, there's a way that you can turn the website off to the search engines. Basically, the search engines won't find you. And this is when you are doing like a major overhaul and adding a ton of content and doing a bunch of changes, and then you make a change and you realize a mistake, so you go back and fix it, then you check it again. That stuff you don't want the search engines to be picking up on all of those changes. That doesn't help you. So I would turn that off. But dormant sites, I like dormant sites because in theory, they've been around longer, right? And the longer a site and a domain name has been around, it basically builds like seniority, and so that actually helps. So if you have old sites laying around, don't kick them to the curb. Basically, refinish them, make them up, do them up again. Judy says, I want to start a new website. What are the most important criteria for finding the best designer master to work with? Well, first off, they got to be open to your suggestions. And in our opinion, for any business, they need a designer that that knows search engine optimization, or at least is open to all of your suggestions. And if you get a critique from us, like we said, we will give you the video, and we can also we'll give it to you just in a YouTube link if you want it that way, and you can send it to this designer, and you can actually send it to a designer that you're thinking about hiring and say, can you do all this? And and then you can even get it in writing. Can you do all of the changes that is mentioned in this? If they say yes, that's a person I would be confident with. Judy, if you have any more questions, we actually have designers that do know this stuff, and we can get you in contact with them too. Okay.
Let me do some questions, Mark.
Okay, knock it out. I was reading from the bottom up, but there is actually extra questions. So
yeah, I'm way in the back here. It says, Carol says, where do we get the codes for sharing when we talk about sharing this post? And for WordPress, it's called Sociable, the Sociable plugin. It's the best one, and it's just a plugin, and when you activate it, it magically appears at the bottom of every post and page. That was easy, okay? If she said, what about HTML? Then you can go to what's called sharethis.com, and they give you a free code that you can put in any website, and it will magically appear on each page. So sharethis.com for regular websites, and this Sociable plugin for WordPress. Joanne, always the complicated Joanne, says, when I'm searching on my keywords to see if my site comes up, how do I cancel myself out so that it doesn't remember my own searches and cookies? I want to see what everyone else sees. Well, you can't do that. Don't worry about searching on yourself all the time. Just make sure that we do all this optimization so that everyone else searching will find your site. We all know how great your site is, Joanne. We love it. So Marjorie says, when I learned, they recommended not to let people leave comments, so you can just change that if people want to leave a comment if they can. Always, always default to leaving comments regardless of whether you get a lot of spam. There are plugins for WordPress called Akismet that catches spam filters, but a lot of people get very disillusioned by all the spam comments and turn off the comment section, and you really don't want to do that. So Revel says, can Google track if a person returns? Absolutely. That's one of the biggest factors. Returning visits or returning hits are a big factor in search engine results, Revel, so you want to definitely do that. I love it. So, and what else have we got here? Let's see. Is there a way to put keywords hidden in a video, the equivalent of alt tags for videos? You can't really put them in a video. Do you know about that, Mark?
Video sitemaps, but I said it was pretty technical. Get with us if you want to know that. Other than that, I have not done any of the other.
Well, if you upload, let's say you have a Flash or maybe even a YouTube embed code, I guess there's no keywords really in there, like the name of the video. So it's a little bit technical on that part, but there are ways that you can add some kind of keywords to a video file if it was going to be uploaded. But Mark knows more about that.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, that's some technical stuff, and yeah, we can help you out with all of those, but something that we wouldn't really get into.
Revel says, should we put contact information on each page, and what info should we include on each page?
That one.
Well, did you already answer that?
Yeah, well, I said I like the opt-in, and I like the contact information on each page, and I like navigation that gets you back to wherever you can go. But if you have any other suggestions, throw it in there.
Well, definitely you want contact information just basically because people do scroll down to see if there's contact information. It just makes them feel better that if they order something or they're thinking of ordering something, that there is some way to contact you. And in that regard, there's another thing that a lot of us forget. A lot of us have these, we're part of these professional organizations such as Life Coaching Federations or the Better Business Bureau or VeriSign or any of these things that we pay money for. These organizations offer little graphics that we can put on our web pages that are called credibility builders that make people feel better that they're dealing with somebody who's part of an organization. So look That's one thing we didn't look for in these critiques, but we'll point them out during the personal ones, that contact information and little symbols from the organizations that you belong to go a long way for the trust factor here on the internet. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, we were getting, yep, I got with that, and then, oh yeah, we got a ton of questions here.
Yeah, we're getting kind of
geez,
crazy.
somebody was worried about the timer. They were worried they didn't purchase in time. Definitely got in there. Thank you very much, Sherry. How do you turn off the search engines? If it's in WordPress, it's in your dashboard. Send me an email. I can walk you through it. Let's see. Where would you put a share feature on your homepage? I'd put, let's see. I put it after each post. It's a little different. I mean, it's definitely there. Where would you put your sharing options on the homepage, Colin?
It would be at the very bottom of the content. Well, there's two different shares that we're talking about. Let me clarify. The one that people can use to share the content with their friends, you want to put that at the end of the content. But then up at the top, up near the opt-in or some place that's visually above the fold, you want to have the ones that just go over to your, like the follow me buttons that go to your social networking and give someone the opportunity to follow you or friend you on Facebook or something like that. Those are great in case people don't want to call or they want to find out more about you first before they make a purchase. Social networking is a great way to get to know you. So you want the follow me buttons to be towards the top and the share buttons at the bottom of content when someone's done reading and they go, yeah, it was good. I want to go ahead and share it and make it convenient so they don't have to bump back and forth. And here's a good question we got. Well, Rebel's saying, how do you determine where the fold actually is? Well, obviously, it depends on what monitor it is. So you have to look at a few different monitors, but the fold does vary, but it doesn't vary that much. So the higher the opt-in is above the fold, if it's like in the middle or the last third of the screen, it probably will be for most monitors. And Rebel also says, it's a lot of good questions from you, Mr. Miller. Thank you. How do you determine if a web page is too long? When your eyes glaze over, okay? No, I mean, a page, if it's 3 or 4 page screen links long, it's better to break that up into different pages. Why? Because the more pages you have, the more the website or the more the search engines like you. They have big sites get good search results because they figures there's a lot of content. So don't try to cram everything on the homepage so it scrolls endlessly and endlessly and endlessly when you could have neatly and conveniently broke that up into some convenient navigation and made more pages. And that's a little bit easier on the eyes. Plus you're given a choice for people to click and read more instead of forcing them to. So that's another thing.
Did you see what Al said? Thanks for filling my weekend with work. No
Thank
problem,
you.
Al.
We always do that.
Yeah, right. Let's see. We got some questions about the all-in-one SEO. Okay. Oh, Lawrence, you figured that out. Okay. Will there be a replay? Yes, definitely be a replay. And it will be available to you within 24 hours. So be on the lookout for an email from us. Let's see. Chris, said they voted no in the poll, but then actually changed their mind. Okay. Let's see. Katie was asking about the YouTube course. Are you recommending any equipment? No, all that equipment is still good, except for the, we recommended a Kodak ZI-8, and now we are recommending another one, the Vado HD. Shoot me an email, and I'll give you all the links and information. Let's see. Margie said, when I learned they recommended not to let people leave comments, can you just change that so if people want to comment, they can? Yes, absolutely, you can. But like what Colin said, you got to watch out for the spam. Here's a good one. Did you get this one, Colin, with Joanne? Said when she's searching on her keywords to see if the site comes up, how does she cancel herself out so that it doesn't remember her own searches and cookies? Because it favors me. Yes. Okay. I want to know what Google sees, what everybody else sees. Good question. Well, yeah, you're going to have to. If you really want to do it, you'd have to not be logged into any Google account or YouTube or Gmail. You can't be logged into anything that's Google. And then, I mean, if you really want to do it, you could go through. You'd have to empty your cache, and even the history would help. And then I would even go through a proxy. So anyway, it's a little. I would go through a proxy, but this is a little bit technical too. So email me if you want to find out, or give me a call, Joanne. We talk to you all the time. So Kent was asking, is there something called latent semantic relevance? Yes, and the websites are searching on also latent semantic indexing, I believe, and that is. Yes, you're saying it exactly right, Kent. That it is topics that kind of hang together. I'm trying to think of a good example. You got a good example, Colin? That's a little bit.
What?
Latent semantic relevance. So along the lines.
Yeah. What he's getting. What the point of that is, without getting very
Right.
too confusing here, is that Google can tell whether you're trying to skew different web keywords that don't have relevance to the page or the topics of the pages. It goes back to people trying to lure people in with keywords just to find out that there's nothing on that page that really has relevance to those keywords. All these things that people used to do, the search engines are so smart now, and especially Google, as they can tell instantly whether topics and keywords and everything is neatly matched up and relevant. And if it's not, you're just not going to get search positioning, and or you could be banned if you're doing it on purpose or do it too many times. So basically, it's very simple to just put keywords that are relevant to your blog posts. Don't try to add stuff in there that doesn't belong, and keep your pages relevant. You'll be rewarded in the long run, and the search engines are very smart, and there's really nothing you can do to skew them. So no matter what you call the logarithm or algorithm about it and what sneaky stuff, there's no way around it anymore.
Right, and a good way of explaining it. So, for example, if you had a dog training site and you have a bunch of information on dog training, dog products, dog food, and then all of a sudden something happens in the news with the Kardashians or something, not even related to dogs, and you put a story on your site about the Kardashians or something like that, hoping to get traffic because it's a big news story or something like that, doesn't have anything related to dog training, and so Google is starting to pick up on that. If you can, tie the Kardashians, if they bought a dog or if they had a dog bite them or something, you could absolutely ride that train, and I would definitely recommend that. But that's what they're saying. You can't really try to just use keywords to grab traffic and then just hopefully getting them to your site. It's not going to work. So
Okay, I got to answer a few questions here.
Okay.
PH says that what to use for security on WordPress since it's known for being hacked. Absolutely. That has everything to do with the host that you're with. You can obviously host your WordPress themes on 100 different hosting sites. So when you're shopping for a host, whether that's GoDaddy or HostGator or Bluehost, look through and see what kind of security measures, because the hacking comes from the host side, or not the host side, but that's where they access it. And here's a tip that I've learned, that your personal computer that you log into to your WordPress, whether it's your laptop or your desktop, it needs to be clean of viruses. Use Norton or Security Essentials or something, because how they get the passwords is when a virus infects your laptop and you don't know it, with some kind of Trojan or something from wherever you've been at all day, and then you type in your password, and those people steal those passwords and then go in and are able to hack it. So it's twofold. You want to make sure your computers are clean, the one that you log in with, and then question and look at the details about these hosting sites and make sure that they're secure. Some cheapo ones may not be worth it. The big players like GoDaddy and HostGator have less problems with security. They really do, because they spend more time knowing that that is a value. Yeah, WordPress is the reason it gets hacked so much is because you keep logging into it all the time, and it opens up abuse. So, I've had it happen. We've all had it happen, but it's manageable. So you don't want to worry about that too much. Susan says, how do you feel about Yoast for SEO versus all-in-one? I love Yoast. It's in terms of title bars and tags and descriptions and things like that, they're both about equal in terms of how good they perform. Yoast has a little bit more options to it, but most people don't understand them or use them as much as they could. If you're just simply wanting to be in control of your title bars like we showed you tonight, because that's the most important thing, either one of those are fine. So we've gotten good results with both. So do attendees like polls on webinars, Revel says? Absolutely. But because everyone likes to participate. But what really happens is it's a giant ego boost for the webinar, for people who put on the webinar and say, yes, we did a good job. And sometimes that can help in making the sales for the offers that you make. So there's a number of different reasons we put polls on, but it's always nice to know that we did a good job and that people are learning from that, so we don't do crappy webinars in the future.
That's right. And shameless plug, I just wrote a book on creating awesome webinars. So if you want to look for it, it's on Kindle. And it talks about polls and why we do them. But Colin basically nailed it on the head there. Let's see. We got somebody wanted to know my email. If you want to email me, I am mark@topinternetconsulting.com. And sounds like there's a jet flying over Colin. And and Colin's is well, we'll actually put him. I'll put him in the chat box for both of us. Okay. Is there any advantage to having navigation on the top or on the left side? Well, if you have it on the left, then you can have you have more stuff above the fold. But on the flip side of that, if you have it up on the top, that seems to be a lot more sites seem to be doing it up at the top. So people are starting to get just accustomed to that. Also, if it's on the left side, or if it's on the top and you're all the way at the bottom of the page, you got to go all the way to the top to get it. Sometimes if it's on the left, it's easier to do that. In my opinion, it's a personal preference. I like it on the top. I like the navigation on the top. Let me clarify.
I do too. I think the left-hand navigation's a little bit 90s. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah,
but it used to be back in like in 1998, everything was always on the left-hand side. Don't you remember that, Mark, or something? Maybe
yeah, and if you look at Tom's, I mean, Tom's has been around for a long time, and he does the left navigation.
Well,
and he gives them space to. But I mean, this is 90s-ish looking. It still does great with the keywords and the content, all that. But it's looking-wise, yeah, it's a little 90s-ish. So if you want to look a little bit more, modern, go for the top navigation. But it's up to you.
Yeah, so we got put the timer up. We're running out of time here to get that special offer. You guys want to jump on that? There's only less than 5 minutes. I want to thank everyone who's already purchased. I know people are saying that they've made purchases. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you,
Steve. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate all those orders coming in. You guys are going to love these video critiques. You guys get to watch them over and over and again. We've only got 4.5 minutes to take advantage of that big super bonus. But remember, you don't have to have a website right now. You can go ahead and definitely get the critique. We'll do it for you when you're ready. We're not going anywhere. You know where we work. You got our phone number. We're not going anywhere. We're here for you. So I love all that. So what else? Some other questions?
Yeah, I like Richard's question. It's a good question. What would you want to guarantee is above the fold? An opt-in or a video? I would want an opt-in as closest to the top as I possibly could. I want it visible the second somebody gets on the site. And if it's a home page, if it's specifically a home page, I want above the fold either a paragraph or a sentence or something that tells me what it is. What is this site? This site is for small businesses to improve their copywriting. Awesome, okay? And that's it. And you can expand on that in another page, like a bio or an About Me section, but just give me something and give the people that are visiting something that tells them in simple terms what it is that you either do or what are you offering. Don't try to sell anything, but just say what the site is for.
Joanne says, Joanne's got a plugin she wants to share with everybody. This is the great thing about community here. It's called Limited Login Plugin for WordPress. Limited Login. You can set it so anybody who tries to log into your site 3 times, it will block them out. That's just, yeah, it's kind of like the all the big, high security sites. Protects you from hackers trying to destroy your site. Thanks, Joanne. She also says, thanks, Colin and Mark. You guys rock, and she loves us. Okay, I appreciate that. Marjorie says, I would love to order, I just can't tonight. That's okay. You know what? I'd love for you to call us back when you can in a couple months. We're not going anywhere. I'd love to do this critique for you when you're ready, Marjorie. I really appreciate you being here and spending time with us tonight. Frank says, will there be a recorded replay? Absolutely. Everyone's getting a replay because he's busy coming to Virginia Beach on Thursday to meet us. Absolutely, Frank. We can't wait. 2 more days, buddy. I can't wait to meet you, dude. And Clydette says, if your keyword phrases are too long for the navigation keys, how do you suggest we handle that? Creatively. I'll help you with that, Clydette. Clydette's a part of my stealth persuasion community, and I would love to help her do creative little copy tricks like that. But there's all sorts of cool things that you can do.
Yeah, if you, I mean, talk to Colin about it, but if you have like a specific example of a long phrase, you could put it in the chat box, and maybe we can shorten it up to. Rebel says,
that's the advantage of being a stealth persuasion community member. Endless emails for secrets and picking Colin's brain to death with a hemostat. Love it.
Yeah, and you guys get in on that. That's one of the bonuses. Rebel is talking us up. You two are very generous with information. I really appreciate you both. Thanks. Thanks,
Chris
Rebel.
says she found the place to update the copyright. Good job, Chris. It's on, sometimes it's a little hidden, but it's usually at the bottom.
Yeah, usually, and sometimes it's in the footer area. So depending on if you have WordPress and whatever your theme is, it might be a way to get to your footer.
Yeah, or it could be in the main CSS, the main part at the bottom of the, it's in a couple different places. A little tricky, but it's worth it. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you that aren't really too confident in where to find these things, remember, we have resources, and we can help you out with changing this stuff too. So we don't leave you in the dark. We don't just give you the recording and say, good luck. We're here for you. And like Colin said, you have extra questions, you can email. So we have email support as well when you get these critiques.
Susan says, do tags and categories in WordPress help with SEO? Absolutely, and I'm going to tell you why, and a lot too. She says, how much? Well, a lot. First off, the tags are part of what you call meta tags, and if you use the Yoast or the SEO plugin to change your title bar, the tags there are hidden in the code, and the search engine can see them. The tags that you add to the post are usually they're in a tag cloud or some place that people can click on a tag on a WordPress template and go to all the other posts related to that tag. So it's kind of like a navigation trick. But the biggest thing is the category, okay? The categories add another keyword. So if you have lifecoaching.com / job or leadership skills is the category, and then you have a post called how to get a raise at work. You got 3 major keywords now in your URL or your address to that post: life coaching, leadership skills, and getting a raise at work. Because you added that category, it's a whole extra keyword stuffed in the address of the post. So always use those categories. But I suggest using just one. Mark still out there, or did he die? Okay. Al says, great job, guys. Extremely well thought out, well presented. Thanks for a great learning session. Are there any other questions out there we want to get to tonight before we get going here? Because it's definitely our 2 hours is nearly up here.
That's right. The 30-minute timer is up. So hopefully all of you guys that ordered in that time are going to get the extra bonus of the 7-day trial. And you can take a look at our categories. This is our categories for posts and video marketing, advertising, blogging. Don't copy us. I mean, unless you do the same topics. But you never see uncategorized, because that's the default in WordPress. It says uncategorized, and that is not searchable. So don't use that. So those are examples of some of our categories, filled with keywords.
Yeah, Susan says that she's got to leave to fill up her glass of wine because Tom's got his webinar starting at 9. Yeah, don't forget about that. The multiple streams of income. Tom's having a webinar starting in 5 or 10 minutes. So if you guys want to jump on that one, go ahead. I'm sure you guys got the email to it because I know I did a couple times. So that's going to be a good one too. If you're not done with the learning and your brain hasn't exploded, that'll be a fun thing to do. Frank says, just a selfish question that could help me with videos. What is the best color of clothes to wear for a video? Mark?
Oh yeah, well we like pastel colors. We like light blues, greens, even a nice like kind of yellow, light pastel. Those without patterns. Please don't wear tight patterns because terrible. Frank, since we're going to be seeing you in a little bit, we will send you a link of exactly what you need to know before you shoot a video. So I'll send that to you soon after the webinar.
Barbara says, if we change a category name, do all the posts under the old category name change too? Yeah, it
if
updates.
You change it, yeah.
Yeah, it updates instantly. So you can. Frank says, now you helped me pack, Mark. Thank you. And he didn't have to stand on the suitcase there, Frank. You know. But yeah, we're going to see you Thursday. What is the next webinar about again? The next webinar, it's about making multiple streams of income with Tom Antion, and that's over on Tom's site. And you can, I think that's actually a call. So that's over at Great Internet Marketing. That's over at greatinternetmarketing.com/teleclasses. And that's where you can go sign up for that. And still plenty of time for that. So I'm glad we were able to get this in. Let's get some questions in. We got 2 minutes. We're going to end so we can, so everybody can get over to Tom's call. So get your last question in here and let's get going. I hope you guys ordered tonight because this is going to be really good for you. Let's get those questions in. There's still 50 or 60 people in the room here. So they're either asleep or they're just waiting to hear more beautiful things from me, I guess.
Just from you. That's it. Well, and other than that, you know, we will be sneaking out of here. So if you like in the middle of the night wake up in a cold sweat and have this question that you need to get answered, you can always email us too. So
yeah, what's our email? My email is videopower@live.com. There's a question here from PH. It says, do you have a good resource for doing Facebook correctly? I sure do, PH, but I don't have a link with me right now. Go ahead and email me, and I'll send you one for spending this long time with us tonight. I'll reward you for that, and I really appreciate you guys being here tonight.
And both of our emails are in the chat box. I will also put it in the question box for you guys, and feel free to contact either one of us, both of us. It's all good. And if we're not getting